Elwood Dalton, a troubled former middleweight fighter in the UFC, makes his living by con artists on the underground circuit. Frankie, the proprietor of a rowdy roadhouse in Glass Key, Florida Keys, approaches him and offers him a position as head bouncer. Dalton accepts the offer after first being apprehensive, especially after barely escaping a suicide attempt with a freight train that totals his automobile. Upon arriving to Frankie's enterprise, which is simply named the Roadhouse, he makes friends with Charlie, an adolescent who co-owns a bookstore with her father, Stephen, via coach bus. At the Roadhouse, Dalton fights off a motorcycle gang that works for Ben Brandt, the local mob boss. He then transports the hurt thugs to the hospital, where he meets Ellie, a medical professional, who takes care of his wounds. While residing on Frankie's abandoned houseboat, Dalton helps the other bouncers and gains favor with the community. Dalton discovers the gang boss Dell waiting for him at his houseboat following an attempt on his life. He tosses Dell overboard, but it's not enough to keep him from getting devoured by a crocodile. Brandt's imprisoned father assigns insane enforcer Knox the duty of finding Dalton. Sheriff Big Dick threatens Dalton to leave town at gunpoint during an unexpected date, but Ellie, who turns out to be the sheriff's daughter, saves him. She clarifies that Brandt, who inherited his wealthy father's drug empire, is in collusion with her father. When Dalton and Brandt first meet at the Roadhouse, Dalton is made fun of for his last UFC title fight where he killed his opponent in the ring out of fury. When Knox and Brandt's guys show up, there's a full-fledged bar brawl that leaves Dalton severely injured. Dalton uses a motorboat to steal Brandt's yacht and meets him there with the sheriff. The sheriff informs Dalton that Brandt is actually holding Ellie captive and that the kidnapping was a hoax. As Knox arrives in his boat, tensions rise, but Dalton sets off a bomb and discovers Ellie below deck. Dalton takes control of Knox's boat while Brandt and Ellie escape the sinking yacht in a motorboat. Dalton and Ellie jump off as they catch up to Brandt, who is propelled onto the top of the Roadhouse. After scaling the beach, Knox steals a pickup vehicle and sends it crashing into the Roadhouse, whereupon he and Dalton engage in a vicious brawl. Knox snaps Brandt's neck fatally instead of carrying out Brandt's command to kill Dalton. As he is ready to use a sliver of wood to kill Dalton, Dalton obtains the upper hand and repeatedly stabs Knox until he submits. When the sheriff shows there, he offers to cover Dalton.